Okay, people, September 27, 2017. Andre and I went back to the walnut trees, and we got a whole bunch of baby, what do you call these things? Holly trees. So I'm going to be planting those. Plus we got some oak. There's actually quite a few oak that are growing that are deep rooted, but as they're mowing down the property, they just keep chopping them down. As you can see, there's bigger ones than that. But anyway, that's basically what I'm going to do here. Look at this one. This one's nice. Look at that. That's pretty nice. And then we got another baby here, people. Here it is right there. Do you see it? Looks like two. I don't know how there's two in there. But do you see that? There's two. That's unusual. So anyway, two babies. Twins. Those are twins. And then I'm going to take my walnuts that were from last year. Just never did anything with them because sometimes it takes up to 2 years for them to grow. Anyway, I'm just going to throw them in the ground and see what they do next year. They just kind of been sitting out like this since I brought them out of the fridge, right? So far we've got what? Oh, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we'll see. Hold on. So we'll make this video just a little bit of a plant check. As you can see, I'm in the greenhouse. I have a batch of tomatoes that I can. Yay! Happy with that, people. I'll be picking them by tonight, probably. Tonight and tomorrow. Right? You can see they're all coming in. There's more in the yard. Look at this. This was very nice. I really like this, people. Obviously it needs some other things in here, but just don't have the resources to do it, so we'll just make do with what we have. And then more plant check. You can see, look at that, people. I'm letting them ripen on the vine. This is parsnip. These are beets. All right, hold on. And then you can see more coming. All right. Beans are doing good. We still have a few cucumbers growing. Oh, look, see. When they start growing, people, they grow pretty freaking fast. And then look what's for dinner. That's like a spinach. Those are seeds from last year. Just kind of sprouted themselves. And there's my little trees. So anyway, we're getting into the hollies right now. Okay, people. Here is that black walnut. There's the 2 shoots. But as you can see, it has 1, 2, 3.
4?
And I broke one off, which is 4, 5, 6. How is that even possible? How does that work, people? I don't know what to do with this. It's in its nut.
Plant it.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm just going to plant it as is. Hey?
Yeah, people, and I can't walk today.
Okay, hold on.
Oh. Okay, people. So look at this. See this? I got this truck today. So the car is going this. Something like that. Okay, wait. Okay, today, see, watch this. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Watch this. Ooh. So first, let me fix this. Yay! Okay, people. So what else I did is, oops. Sorry, people. Can you hold on, please? Okay, there we go. Okay. Just fix it. Because I knocked stuff down. Time keeps falling down. That's me, I'm the falling down guy. So, I got this. The gas station's over there. I think. I can see it. All the way right there. Yeah, there. There it is. Here's the... Let's say you can get the tow truck. The tow truck, the police car. I kind of got it. That one, and I got that. But I didn't get that. So, bye, people. Goodbye.
Okay, people, so it's September 28, 2017. Just sticking with the format, not dropping the ball here, right? Anyway, I went off and bought a whole bunch of apples to make apple juice because, you know, I don't have my grapes. So that's fine. I have the jars, though, right? So that's why I bought the apples. I'll show you in a minute. But in the meantime, before I start getting ready for canning, it's always best, people, if you haven't canned for a week or two, to come in and do something with your stove, you know, because when it starts getting hot in here, if there's anything underneath, right, and it's hot, and it's like, you know, because canning is a hot thing, right? You don't want little flames coming up underneath. So just make sure, this is what I'm saying, just make sure before you start any kind of canning that you clean this so that you don't have to turn it off. And okay, so it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You just want to get the crumbs out so that when it starts getting hot and it stays hot, it's not going to catch on fire, right? And it's always nice to have an extra couple of elements around because, you know, elements do go on you. This looks like this one's going to start going on me pretty soon. Now, this is an old stove. I'm only working with 3 burners, people. This one here burnt out. I can't get it to work with the buttons, so I don't know. Anyway. Okay, people, this is Uncle John's chair. It is September 29th, 2017. So, what I did is I checked my email today, right? And I got, I guess, a response back from Fraser Health. I'm just going to read it to you, okay? It says, we are in receipt of your amended notice of claim. We are in receipt of your amended notice of civil claim. Although the statement of facts has been condensed to approximately 20 pages, there are nearly 60 additional pages of Part 2 and 3 of your notice of civil claim which has not been amended. At the case planning conference on August 15, 2017, Master Taylor directed that your entire amended notice of claim was to be no more than 15 to 20 pages. Under the rule book, people, there is no maximum amount of pages to be submitted under a notice of claim. Not just the statement of facts. You are in violation of a direction of the court. In addition, the notice of civil claim as amended still discloses no reasonable claim. The allegations you raised against our client, Fraser Health Authority, are in relation to care and treatment received by Mr. John Duncan. Generally, a hospital owes a duty of care to its patients, not to a patient's friends or relatives. We believe there is no basis of fact or law for your claim against the health authority. John told them to talk to me, that I'm the one that had power of attorney. They ignored it completely. And more than likely stuffed him in a hammock after they drugged him up, people, and shipped him on the ferry, and then when he woke up, he almost had a heart attack in Victoria. That's what I'm thinking. Accordingly, we have instructions to bring an application to strike your claim. I'd like to know who's making this decision. Is it the CEO? Maybe I should be contacting the CEO of Fraser Health Authority, since I'm just dealing with lawyers right now. If we are forced to bring this application, we will be seeking a cost awarded against you. There's that threat, people. If, however, you agree to drop this action before we bring the application, in other words, don't ever talk about Uncle John again. Just pretend that he never existed. And live your life in fear for the rest of your life and worry about the safety of your children and their health. As these gang stalkers that are connected through these colluded groups of unions, right? Look at the pattern, people. June 15th, who showed up for 45 days? The city of Surrey harassed me, almost got me evicted. As soon as that started to calm down, who showed up again? MCFD, right? Next thing you know it, I don't know where Andre's file is in terms of that contract. I haven't received anything. So am I going to be able to pay that $650 on the 11th of next month? We're already at the end of September. Am I having to ask my landlady to wait for that paperwork to get done because somebody, maybe next door, probably next door, phoned MCFD to say 2 screws on my railing made my house unsafe, and therefore it gave them the right to come into my house and put a brakes on that contract, so financially I'm screwed and will still get evicted? If I'm not going to get evicted because of the city, I'm now going to get evicted because the contract is on somebody else's desk that shouldn't have it and it got lost in the fucking mail? As we got the big bad Fraser Health Authority waving their, well, you know, if you don't drop it, we're coming after you for some money. I'm telling you, people, I just talked to my youngest daughter. I told her, I'm becoming a political prisoner here. That's what's happening. Won't be long before I'm treated like a political prisoner. They will lock my ass up because I will not be able to afford Fraser Health Authority and their costs. Because I'm not going to bend down to their bully behavior. I'm not, people. I'm not. I'm not going to sit here for the rest of my life and act like Uncle John didn't mean something to this family. I'm not going to allow them to get away with what they did to Uncle John, never mind what they did to this family. As we've got the Dunk Clan lurking in the background on Get Off My Internet, GMOI, gang stalking, making those phone calls. If it's not to the city, it's to my landlord. If it's not to my landlord, it's to the Royal Bank. If it's not to the Royal Bank, it's to MCFD. If, however, you agree to drop this action before we bring the application, our client is willing to waive the costs it has incurred to date in defending this claim. What about us, people? We don't have a fucking life. We have nothing. We're living on a shoestring. I'm scrounging around for dollar bags just to make juice for the winter. Because I don't know when the next attack is going to come my way and they're just going to do something. Somebody's going to do something, people. This is the history of the nonprofit. I'm turning into a political prisoner because I'm standing up for my stepdad, and I'm standing up for my children, and I'm standing up for my grandchild, and I'm standing up for the next 20 years of baby boomers who are being exploited by a corrupt system that picks and chooses who they want to protect and who they want to toss out on the streets. Wait a minute. Therefore, in full and final settlement of this claim, we are instructed to offer you a waiver of costs in exchange for your agreement to sign a consent order dismissing this action and a release stating that you will not bring further claims against Fraser Health Authority in relation on this matter. I am not doing that, people. I will go to jail. I will become a political prisoner. I am 55 years old. My health is failing. I cannot access the Fraser Health system, Fraser Health Authority system. I can't get no dental care, quality dental care. I'll get my teeth ripped out, but that's all I'm going to get. I can't get quality health care anywhere, people. Just as I'm being targeted in my yard, just as I'm being targeted with my grandson, just as I'm being targeted with my finances, I am being targeted within the healthcare system. And if I'm being targeted within the healthcare system, then my children at some point are going to be targeted within the healthcare system. Just like those old people with houses and money are being targeted within the healthcare system. And Uncle John was just the tip of the iceberg. It was only his turn, people. The defendant reserves its right to bring, our offer will remain open until October 6th. So now they're rushing it, people. Now they're rushing it. Okay? They're going to put an amendment. They're playing dirty pool. This is the fucking tricks that they have up their sleeve because they're fucking shysters. Okay? This is what they get paid to do, people. They don't get paid to be honorable. They don't get paid to protect the public. They get paid to protect the corporation. And if the corporation is on a mission to make its money wherever it can through its pay-as-you-go fucking service, and only old people with assets can pay for that service, then they're going to protect that money train. At which time will be rescinded. So in other words, if I don't respond to them by October 6th, they're going to be making application to dismiss it. Well, they've been making application to dismiss it, people. And they're trying to scare me with money. Just like I'm sitting here with no money right now. They're trying to fucking scare me. They tried to scare me with MCFD. They tried to scare me with the freaking city. The defendant reserves its right to bring this offer to the attention of the court for consideration in relation to costs after the court has pronounced judgment. So in other words, they're going to win. Based on the rule book, even though right from the get-go it tells you there is no number of pages when you put in a freaking notice of claim. But a masters can come in and throw in a monkey wrench just so that it benefits the corporation and not the plaintiff, right? Which is discrimination. Straight up discrimination, people. My children are black. We're poor, right? I'm not a lawyer. John never received legal counsel. The family, his immediate family, never received counsel because they doped him up and they kept him doped up, people. And they made it so he couldn't walk because they didn't provide proper physiotherapy. And they were lying and playing games, and they used the word confused as their means to commit him under the Mental Health Act, even though they didn't follow the fucking protocol. And they want to say, I don't have a right to talk about that. Now that it's all been kind of figured out what the fuck they did. In collusion with CIBC Bank. As they robbed and pillaged Uncle John. The defendant reserves its right to bring this offer to the attention of the court for consideration in relation to costs after the court has pronounced judgment on all other issues in this proceeding. In other words, you didn't do the amendment right, so therefore it gives the masters the right to just toss it out of court and pretend that it never fucking happened and that there is no person called Uncle John and his life was pointless, along with anybody else in his immediate family. We remind you that we only act for Fraser Health Authority. We do not represent or protect your rights, interests in any way. Exactly. Exactly. Because the Fraser Health Authority doesn't work for the public, people. Because if they did work for the public, Uncle John wouldn't be in this position right along with the rest of his immediate family. And I sure in the hell wouldn't be going to jail as a political prisoner. Because that's what I see on the horizon. What are they going to do? Garnishing my disability welfare check? Put me out in the fucking streets? So they can take government money and pay their corrupt fucking lawyers to cover their tracks? They're obviously siding with the Duncan clan. It's pretty fucking apparent. Well, yeah, because John's sister's been a nurse for over 40 years and she's reputable. With her code white! Code white! I'll show you fucking code white. You want to take it there? Lock my ass up. Make me a political fucking prisoner. At least my life represents something. At least I stand up for something. And for those 20 years of baby boomers coming in, let that information get out there. That somebody actually stood up for them. We urge you to obtain independent legal representation. Now, what a fucking joke. We asked for legal representation when John was at the Surrey Memorial Hospital and they refused to give it to him. We asked for legal representation when he was at the Yale Road Center and they refused to give it to him. We had a lawyer, a certified lawyer, try to contact John on numerous occasions, and Fraser Health Authority made sure that John was incapacitated and couldn't fucking talk on the phone when he wasn't drugged up or when they just refused to give him the fucking phone. You can't go to pro bono because they're too busy helping people go bankrupt and losing their houses. And we know why, don't we? Anyway, do you see this? Just came out. Racism blamed for BC hit and run victims' early hospital discharge. Fraser Health apologizes after woman with broken femur spent night in a wheelchair in the rain. The ex-husband of a victim of a hit-and-run claims the bad treatment she received at the hospital was at least partially racially motivated. What happened was, she went into the hospital, she got hit by a vehicle, age 55, was left with a broken femur, other fractures, and a crushed foot. Stewart was rushed to the hospital by ambulance where she was examined, received x-rays, and then promptly discharged. That's when her terrible night turned into a fucking nightmare. To me, it's really crazy that this could happen at all. And all Fraser Health Authority wants to do is say, I'm sorry, we made a mistake. I'm sorry. As her ex-husband and father of her children told Progress Monday. Despite Stewart's serious injuries and despite receiving an x-ray, Julian said she was kicked out of the hospital into the rain. He attributes the staff's actions to the fact that she is Aboriginal from the Squatchqua First Nation and a recovering addict on a methadone program. No money! There was no money to keep her, people. None. Not like Uncle John with all those fucking sharks swimming around. Mary was treated worse than the chickens that are being abused on the farms here. Just like my daughter is mistreated, people. Because she has no benefit packages, disability pension plan, old age pension plan, and quite possibly a superannuation life insurance policy when they die. Not to mention an inheritance that nobody told Uncle John about for 13 fucking months. But once Fraser Health fucking staff discovered that it was there, boy oh boy, they sure made sure Uncle John disappeared in a fucking hurry. You didn't see them throw him out in the fucking rain, now did you? Julian told Something News, comparing it to an ongoing controversy involving accusations of animal abuse at a Chilliwack chicken farm. So I guess because these people are standing up for chickens like a Mr. Lace, right? They're being targeted. That's what's happening. These Aboriginal people are standing up for the chickens that are being abused. You know, a few of them want a Mr. Lace for therapy birds. You know, let the hens run free. Let them eat the things that they eat in a natural state in terms of running around on the ground. And because they're out there fighting for the chickens, you know, one of them gets hit by a car. Maybe not when they were fighting for a chicken. But point is, you know, it's flagged, people. It's flagged. She got to the hospital and they just tossed her out that fucking night in the rain because she didn't have no pension plan to tap into for a pay-as-you-go system while the rest of the money goes into the fucking bank. Julian wasn't with Stuart that night. She was with her new partner. Nurse grabbed her leg and started to pull her off a stretcher into a wheelchair. It was Raymond who stopped the nurse and did the best to get her in the chair. So there you go. There you go. Right? These nurses, this is not the first time I've heard of a nurse smacking a patient at Yale Road. You know, take the medicine. You gotta take it. Yeah. And you got one here grabbing this poor woman off the freaking stretcher. You know, just grabbing her, trying to force her into the fucking wheelchair, so they can just wheel her out and toss her out in the rain. Because there is no superannuation life insurance policy to steal. There is no $3,000 benefit package in terms of the plan that he chose for his retirement, in terms of old age pension and that type of thing. The two were told to leave. Get out! But without a ride or a phone. Exactly. They don't like to give people phones. We know that with Uncle John. Uncle John never got his phone calls, even though the lawyer was calling and still tried to call when John was illegally transported to Victoria, BC. Now, Fraser Health wants me to sign a dismissal so that I can never talk about this fucking again. Forget Uncle John even existed. There is no such thing as an Uncle John. Well, maybe in their mind, because to him, he's just a statistic. He's just a money fucking count for them. They made hundreds of thousands of dollars off of him as they destroyed his family, people. His family. He was with us for years and years and years and years and years. He was begging for those people to let him come fucking home without them coming back trying to get him for his money. He forfeited on a superannuation life insurance policy because he knew what his family was about. He said, forget it. Let it fucking go, Judy, because if I have a life insurance policy, my sisters will come in and they will tear your house apart looking for it. Well, they didn't tear my house apart. All they did was take the body, broke up his fucking mind into little pieces, scooped him out, put in a freaking styrofoam, put on a fucking pearly necklace, combed back his hair, and made him look like he was normal. But there is absolutely nothing normal about this. So Fraser Health, Mr. Berkeley, you can charge me for being a political prisoner, or you can charge me for not paying your fucking fees, and then you can dub me a political prisoner. How about that one? And this is how I'm going to end it. I got more tomatoes on the vine. It's raining right now. I'll get them later, and I get a few more jars. This is my dollar bag. I don't know. It was about $6 or $7 worth of fruit. You can see that. That's a lot. So I'm making fruit juice with this, people. Okay? And then I bought about $16, $17 worth of apples. These are Gala apples, and I'm making apple juice. That is what I'm doing, people. And then I'm just gonna, get ready to go to fucking jail.